Hi, everyone, and welcome to the 50th episode, can you believe it, of Like, Share, Follow. And this week I have the amazing Kirsty O'Callaghan, who is the owner of Kirsty O'Callaghan Consulting. And not only that, there's a range of things that Kirsty does, which we will talk about. So how are you going, Kirsty?
I'm really well, thank you. And thank you for having me for such a special episode. It's so exciting. I'm so honoured. Thank you.
Well, thanks for being on the show. And so it's been a little while since you were in my social media classes, but you've been doing amazing things since then. So please tell me, what have you been up to?
Oh, I've been up to so much. I like to do lots of different things, so just keep it a little bit exciting. But so when I finished up last year, I was lucky enough to be able to moderate on the Twilight Science panel discussion for the Creative Industries Festival up the Sunshine Coast there, for how to save the world, connecting science to the public. So that was really exciting, considering my what's taking up a bulk amount of my time is my honours research. And my honours research is on climate change communication in politicised and polarised environments and translating online to offline activism. And what I'm mainly focusing on in this research is how Greta Thunberg activated a movement and how she harnessed the power of media and celebrity to maximise impact and reach of her climate messages on social media. So you certainly got the ball rolling for me, that's for sure, and got me excited. So yeah.
Excellent. So you're doing it's a honours project, which is for an entire year. So that's a fascinating topic. Because, as we cover in the social media courses, I'm really interested too in that sort of online and how it does impact offline and if it even impacts offline. So I can't wait to read your thesis.
Thank you.
Yeah. And what else have you been doing? So you're the owner of Kirsty O'Callaghan Consulting, but what sort of consulting services do you have?
Okay, so it's around, corporate communications, business communications. I'm a communication specialist. So I work a lot with people with their messaging online, as well as PR and a bit of media and things like that, but mainly connecting with their voice and getting their voice out there so that, people can connect with them and basically know what they do, how they're doing it and where they're doing it.
Excellent. And you have another role too.
I do. I also work at the uni at USC. So I work on the Petrie campus and I'm a student experience mentor. So that mainly means we just connect with new students and see how they're going and see if they need any help and let them know about the range of services that USC offers them to set them up ready for success in their degree.
Excellent. And so can you tell me what has been some of the best career advice you've been given throughout your career?
Oh, okay. So all throughout my life, I realised the importance of this, but I heard it a lot recently, so it's made a big difference to me, is persistence matters. So, keep showing up and keep asking the right questions and keep asking for support. But, that whole idea that persistence matters. So, keep going. If you get a setback, keep going and just be persistent and always keep your goal in mind. Really important, because you will get there. You will get there.
Absolutely. And do you find too, this is something I've learned as well, that often just be patient. So be persistent and patient, So and the biggest goals to achieve, they happen over long-term, small efforts over a long-term period, being consistent and keep chipping away and eventually it'll happen.
Exactly. Yeah, I call those the daily disciplines. So it's like, how am I going to use my minutes wisely and what am I doing every day towards where I want to go? But that includes not just my work, that includes looking after myself. It includes am I getting a balance of everything that I need to be balancing with? Am I connecting with my friends? Who's uplifting me? All that sort of thing, because that helps you to keep and sustain that momentum.
Absolutely. And so tell me as well, with your consulting business, what do you think, what have some of your clients said why they've chosen you to assist them with their communications over other suppliers?
Yeah. I think I do get a fair bit of feedback, how nice I am, and I'm really friendly. But I really, but I really believe that's because I make sure, like I always am very, very aware to check in with the intention. So the intention of what I'm doing, why I'm there, and also to share that space with them. So I'm in their space, so I listen to their story. I listen to what their voice sounds like, and I really am interested in what their story is and why they're doing what they're doing and where they want to go and why they want to get there and what's the best way for me to help them get there. So it's really being able to not make it anything about me, but use my expertise to make it all about them. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's about making them the hero of their story.
Exactly. Yeah. And it takes a lot to listen sometimes because your brain's going 10 to the dozen thinking, no, you should be doing this, and no, we can do this. And, but it is really, because if you dig just that little bit deeper and ask those extra questions, what you can get out of them, it affects the content, because the content all of a sudden comes alive and it's about them. And so that's what makes the difference. And they feel really important. So then they trust me more. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. And I think, I think trust is the ultimate thing that we're trying to achieve. So with our clients and with trying to get their customers and stakeholders to also trust them through them being sort of open and transparent as well. It's such the cornerstone of everything, really, I think.
Yeah, it is. And it's such a simple thing. It's just being interested in them, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And so tell me, so you finish your degree, now you're on your honours year. So from what you've studied so far at university, what have been some of the most helpful things that have you found most useful in your consulting practice?
Yeah, probably I think strategy and research skills, just being able to take that strategic and evidence-based approach in everything I do, and being taught how to do that properly has made such a big difference for me and the way I look at things in my business. And, that whole framework, strategic framework of taking that, like I said, evidence-based approach is so very important to be authentic, to get things right, to be connected with what's going on currently. Really, really important, because as we know, the online space is such a dynamic space and things are changing constantly. So to make sure that you have great research skills and always have a strategy is so very important.
Absolutely. And so now on the flip side of that, what is something some skill or some knowledge that you wish you'd learned at university that you needed in your consulting practice?
I suppose it's not so much in my consulting practice, but because I'm like a lifelong learner, like I've truly fell in love with learning and I just want to keep learning, is that I think I'm very good at descriptive research, but I would have benefited, I think, a lot more from learning a bit more in depth and considered analytical research methods, just to find those missing links, because the missing links really interest me in academic literature and industry reports, to be able to make critical evaluations. And that's especially at organisational level, as well as the postgrad research I'm doing now, sort of more about, well, why is that happening? And then why is this happening from that happening? And, how do I put all those dots together?
And would that be more sort of statistical analyses, or just other sort of more like sort of content?
Probably content, as well as, why are people doing it this way now, and how did that switch over to here? Yeah. Okay. Which, like I said, because the online space is so dynamic, having that more analytical mindset, I'm finding, is really important. Really important.
Yeah, and because there's just so much data and things happening all the time.
And it's like, okay, this data says this, but why does it say that?
Yeah. So my other question for you is, so are you still involved with social media? Well, you're researching in the space, and you're still quite active. I see you on social media. So tell me, what's something that you've learned in the last couple of weeks, a platform change, a tool, or something you've discovered that you could share with the rest of us?
Yeah, I mean, look, social media today is like one of my favorite newsletters, so that keeps me constantly up to date on what's happening. However, through my research, I really thought about this. You know, what have I noticed in the last month? It's really landed on me, and it is from the research that I'm doing in that youth space. But how youth, and especially women and girls, are really changing the political and social landscape through the use of social media. And their conversations and how connected they are, and that building that relationships and creating their own content, and you know, having that voice and being heard. It's and it's really authentic, which is a great thing. So the online is really important to get into those conversations for the things that affect us as a society, and platform changes are reflecting that as we go as well. You know. So yeah. So that's one big thing I've noticed from my research, as well as watching things online over the last month or so.
Yeah. And what's some advice you could give to emerging professionals and current students who are emerging professionals about how they could succeed in their careers going forward?
Well, you probably already guessed it. The first one would be never stop learning. And network. I have had so many opportunities from showing up and networking and showing up to everything and getting involved and meeting people. And you know, they say that there's that saying that the only things that change are the people we meet and the books we read. And at university we read a lot of books, but we meeting a lot of people also makes such a difference, and having those conversations with them. And you know, now look at us, we can do it online, we can do it anywhere, you know, and have those conversations. So always network, always connect with people. When you connect with people, keep in touch. You know, get together on LinkedIn or whichever social platform you hang out at the most, and that sort of thing. And and the other thing is always ask for help and support, because people not only really appreciate being asked, and they're always there to give you support. I have never been knocked back once when I've asked for help and support, but you know, you don't have to sit there and think you need to know, or you can't ask, because there's so many people that, you know, can help you, because we're a community, and we're an online community, and you know, it's really important to reach out.
Absolutely, it's amazing advice, and you know, and you definitely, you know, did that as when you were in our social media courses, in terms of particularly in showing up. Like I know you went to most things that I had, most events and workshops and things like that, and you're right, like people. They need to know you. So if you're more likely to find, if you're going to find employment, it's generally through who you know. There are so many jobs that aren't advertised, and people just ask, do you know someone with these skills? And even on LinkedIn is a powerful tool where people land jobs and find opportunities every day.
Yep.
So it's super important just to connect with people face to face and online.
Yeah, absolutely, both. And and you know, it's also like, it's not even just the opportunities that are there for you, but you for you know, each other. It's somebody could say something and you're like, oh my goodness, that makes so much sense now, and you know, you do that for them, and keep those conversations going. Really important.
And even you can help connect other people as well. So,
which is, you do that so well, you know, and like, you are such a connector, and that's the thing, you know, and that inspires others, and then shows others that that's really cool to do that. You know, you don't have to keep all your knowledge and your people to yourself. There is an abundance of opportunities out there. You just got to get in that flow.
That's right, and you've got to make yourself known to people as well. So, like I often connect people who I know who are looking for each other in terms of skills, not romantically. I don't do that. But in terms of like skills and you know, and professional connections in that way, and if I don't know you, I can't do that. So the more people you know, the more opportunities that you're likely to have come your way.
100%. Yep.
And so now, it is the most important question of the whole show, of the whole 50th episode, is who do you like, share, and follow?
Oh, well, of course you. Oh. And however, I put a bit of thought in it because I thought, you know, okay, what are my main things? Well, various news sites and journalistic pages, I think, as a communications expert, really important, especially in the political space and social space. My son's school social pages, of course, various environmental and climate change pages, because that's where my area is. So, you know, what I suggest to the audience is that don't just follow things you're interested in, follow groups and pages that you either aspire to professionally or that you are in professionally. It's really important, you know. Also, Tara Brabazon, who is the Dean of Graduate Research at Flinders University, does a lot of postgrad information and vlogs, and she's just brilliant. The female lead, Simon Sinek, the Kokoda Challenge, because I recently did the 48-kilometre Kokoda Challenge, which is amazing, in Brisbane. Obviously, Greta Thunberg, David Attenborough, and Jane Fonda. So, yeah, that's probably, I thought, what is the majority? But they're all, basically they're the ones I mainly follow at the moment.
Yeah, well, that's quite a list, but they all sound very high quality, and I follow some of them myself. So so that's great. And so we're sort of at the end of the questions now, but do you have any final words that you'd like to leave us with on our 50th episode?
Oh, I know, how magnificent. So you know, I think we're all capable of a lot. You know, just really have confidence in yourself and your abilities, and have a really strong network of cool people around you, and there's no way you won't succeed. Just keep showing up, be honest, be transparent, be respectful to our industry, and it's just growing and growing, and it needs more people that are really in that space to do big things. So yeah, that's what I wish for everybody.
Oh, thank you. And we've had some comments. So we have Dr. Kapilaswar Mishra. He said, when you try to understand everything, you will not understand anything. Good morning. And we've got Yogendra Camp, who says Namo Narayan. So he's one of my yoga friends. And Anthony Roberto said, congratulations for the first anniversary. So it actually is like it was a couple of days ago. It was the actual 12-month anniversary, 1 year, and 50th episode. And he said, thank you to you. He called you Dr. Kirsty O'Callaghan, which
one day
you will be, for your insightful contribution. And he said you give great advice.
Thank you.
There you go. So thank you so much, Kirsty. It was an honour to have you on the 50th episode.
Absolute pleasure.
Thanks. And next week we have Kira Anderson, who is a project assistant at Patch Creative, and she's also undertaking a master's in digital media at UTS. So excellent. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all next week.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.